Welcome back to Beautifully Seasoned. It's your girl Katrina here. Once again, I want to share a message with you. Now, you know what? Something just came in my spirit, and that is a message for women that is, I guess you could say, that's under 50 and maybe more in the 30s and somewhat in the 40s. I have some things to say to you because I am a seasoned woman. And so, things that I've experienced already, I wouldn't want anybody to fall in any kind of pitfalls that I fell in. And so that is one of the reasons why I am just so invested in Beautifully Seasoned. It's because I do want to empower women the best that I know how with the wisdom that I have. So you know what? You call me old school if you want to. I am just grateful to be here still. I'm grateful to just be living my best life. But in that, it's not all about me. It's about me sharing. It's about me encouraging and motivating people. And so that's what this episode of Beautifully Seasoned is about. It's a message to the younger woman. A message to the younger woman. So you have to excuse me. I had some dental work done. So I'm still healing from that. So so bear with me as I'm just want to give you what I know. I want to share with you the wisdom that I have. And so, to start off, we always add to your spiritual garden. And so I do hope that you have a journal. So important, really. It could be so therapeutic just to write down things, scriptures, thoughts, ideas, and you just never know how they will be used in your life moving forward. Just write them down. How you feel. How you want to feel, what you want in your life. And so please take out your journal, and I'm going to share with you a scripture. And this scripture is from Proverbs chapter 15, verses 7. And it says, "The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so the hearts of fools." And so what that says to me is that when you're not listening to wisdom, basically you're on that path of being a fool. And I don't mean to be insulting, but it is. We learn by being wise, and we learn from the people who have been there and done that. And that's why our ancestors are just so important. The words that they've said and the deeds that they've done, we need to soak that in and learn from that. And so that is why I'm here to share with you my wisdom. And then hopefully as you evolve in life and you're blossoming even more and more, that you won't be falling in some of the pitfalls that I fell in. And I'm hoping that. So yeah, let's move right along. First, I want to say that now, this is something that I read, and I just want to say it to you, and this was underneath that scripture. And it said, "Those who honor godly truth speak wisely, and others benefit from their words. They speak the truth and share it freely." And that's what I want the Beautifully Seasoned podcast to do for you. I want to share my wisdom. I'm sharing it freely. I'm just hoping that you pass the word on to maybe some younger sisters or a sister that you know that might just be a little bit in a rut. And I'm hoping that the words that I say and the information I give you can kind of help encourage them and lift them up and maybe give them a different perspective of what they're going through. So let's start. I am going to first start off with, now, you already know me if you've been listening to my podcast. You have to be spiritually grounded. Now, was I always spiritually grounded? No. Even though I was raised in church, we had to go to church when I was little. If you didn't, when you got home and your friends knocked on that door and said, "Come on outside and play," those were the days when we went outside to play. And maybe even in the weather that we're in now, we love to just be outdoors. So mom would be like, "No, you're not going outside." And that was a big thing because we didn't have the video games and we didn't have that kind of thing. I had my reading and I had my, I used to do my little sewing and things like that. So I didn't have the phone and all these other type of social media distractions. And so we had to go to church. So it was almost like that word of God, even though I was forced to go, it was kind of embedded in my spirit already. And so once you know it, you can't unknow it. Once it gets in there, you can't unknow it. And so that part of growing up, I felt that my parents did a really, really good job in that, in making us go to church. At the time, we didn't like it. At the time, we thought it was like, man, we gotta go. We want to stay in bed, of course, and maybe look at TV. The very few channels that were on. If you around my age, you know what I'm talking about. So, but we went, and I'm glad we did. And I think that helped me, even though I slacked off. I feel that it helped me kind of reel myself back in and know that Jesus died for my sins, and that all these many journeys I've been on in my life, that God has been right there with me. And some things that could have happened didn't happen. And some things that did happen that hurt me taught me lessons. And so, younger sisters out there, be spiritually grounded. Now, I think sometimes we get misconstrued with being spiritual. And I think sometimes we think that that means you got to be holy roller in church all the time, and you can't have fun. I know that's what you're thinking, but that's not true. I feel that my relationship with God is so much more important than going out and juking and doing all that. I really don't miss that. But like I said before, I had my time. I had that time where I did have to test a little bit here and test a little bit there, and I do understand that. But the sooner that you're spiritually grounded, I think you're going to see God do some magnificent things in your life. And so being spiritually grounded, what does that mean, Katrina? Well, let me tell you. It's simply having a personal relationship with God. And when you have a personal relationship with God too, you want to know more about him. You want to be that better person. You want to be a light for him. And that light is how you conduct yourself. How do you conduct yourself around other people? What type of vibes, what type of energy are you giving out to the world? And are you really causing people to say, hey, how are you the way you are? And you could lead them to God. You could lead them and say, hey, God had everything to do with this, So yeah, think about that. And I'm looking right now and I see how I'm still swollen from my dental work. I had some dental work done. So, but that's okay. It's still I can talk, right? So, okay, I'm good. And then I'm on meds, right, to keep the numb that down. Okay, but this is something I really want to share with you. Spirituality, your spirit and your connection and your relationship with God has nothing to do with anyone else. This is you and your personal relationship. What does that have to do with going to church? Actually, I find a lot of comfort in going to church. I find comfort in listening to the word. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And you know what? A lot of times it has nothing to do with the minister per se. I trust what the minister is teaching me, but then I have to go in the scripture myself and study myself as well. And so I just found I love going to church. I do. I like going. I like hearing the word. I like being uplifted with song and praise. I love that. And so you might not be at that level yet, and that's okay. But starting with having that personal relationship with God, getting up in the morning, thanking God for all that you have, praying for people in your life, praying for yourself, praying over your own self, asking God, make me the woman that you created me to be. How powerful is that? Make me the woman that you created me to be. And you know that is something that's far beyond what your thinking is. God's ways is higher than our ways. And so we know what that means. So it also builds, I have here, and I wrote some notes down, it builds morals and values when you're spiritually grounded. Morals, values, it builds integrity. And so you're not out just mishandling your life and mishandling other people's life, because you have that spiritual base. And with that spiritual base, you really want to please God as best as you can. And we know that we all fall short, but I really want you to take that in because this is very important as a young sister out there. I know there's a lot of distractions and other things, but being spiritually grounded is one lesson I really have to share with you. The know Lord for yourself, know God for yourself. This is you and God and no one else. All right. I hope you got that one. So let's go on to the next one. I see a lot of women, and when I'm looking at YouTube, and it's miraculous and it is beautiful. And you know what? We all look slightly different without makeup, right? We do. But we don't want to be an avatar. And we know that avatar is this really sensationalized look. We don't want to be an avatar. I know I don't. And I'm thinking when I do take, my little makeup, my little eyeliner, when I take it off, that I'm still me. It's like not such a 1 through 10, like, I was 10, but now I'm looking and it's like, wow, we don't even recognize you without makeup. No one wants an avatar, and you don't even want an avatar. If you're dating and you see someone on the screen and they look completely different when they just got out the shower, or I'm trying to think when we're in places where we wouldn't have that type of makeup and dressing and all of that. Ladies, I know we love our makeup. We love our makeup. We've been loving it since we've been children. Remember, we wanted to get in our mama's makeup. My mom didn't really wear makeup, but, and be honest with you, listen to this. I really didn't start wearing makeup maybe into my 40s. I never really did, and I just kind of started wearing makeup. So I was like, I don't know if you could say I was a plain Jane, according to today's standards, I guess. But, yeah. No one wants an avatar, and really men, they don't either. And it's contradicting though, because a lot of times that's what they're drawn to when they see these women on TV and they have these beautiful makeup jobs. And we know when we see all of that, and of course they look so beautiful. And the makeup artist does just a beautiful, wonderful job. And it's like, wow, it's almost like perfection, right? But then when they see that person without the makeup, it's like, I want you to see the real me. And I want you to embrace the real you. And this is one test. If you see yourself gravitating to wearing a lot of makeup, how about going to the store without any? Just go to the store without any. A little short trip. And test yourself. Can I still be me? Can I still be in the world and walk amongst the world without that, and test yourself? But I want you to embrace who you are. And like I said, I like makeup too. I like my little eyeliner on and my little lip gloss. I do. But we don't want to be dependent on it, and we don't want it to be who we are. We want to be able to embrace our true natural self. So think about that, ladies. We don't want to be an avatar. And it's on Instagram a lot. If we are following people and we might even, and I know our younger sisters look at these women and they just look so perfect. Their bodies are perfect. Their faces are perfect. Their hair is perfect. And we know as beautifully seasoned women that that's not true. That those things are enhanced, and it's almost like an illusion, and so we know that. And it seems like I got this light. Let's see if I turn this down. I think I'm still getting that stripe there, but so yeah, we don't want to be an avatar, ladies. If you see yourself dependent too much on the makeup, too much on that, test yourself and say, no, I refuse to conform to this. I need to accept myself the way I am, all beautiful. Look at yourself in the mirror naturally and say, I love me. Without the makeup, I love who I am and who God created me to be, because God didn't make anyone else like me. Even if I'm a twin, God still didn't make anyone else built in thoughts and spirit like I am. So embrace that. And I'm going to tell you this, ladies, my younger sisters, even if someone does not like you or think you're pretty, doesn't mean that you're not pretty. Doesn't mean that you're not beautiful. That's one person's opinion, or that's two people's opinion. Another thing, ladies, I think a lot of times we measure who we are in our beauty and our worth based on men, and we can't do that. A lot of times they don't know what they want either. I'm gonna move away a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, they don't know who they are either. They trying to if they say, I've heard men say, I don't want a woman with weave. And you turn around, they with a woman with weave. I heard some men say, I don't like a woman with makeup. They're Googling and saying, oh, she's gorgeous and she has makeup on. So they have their own separate journey as well. And we have to keep that in mind, that they're people too. They kind of, I feel a lot of men are confused. They're going, and since they're visual creatures, it's like they're just, I don't know, they're out there. That's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole nother podcast. So you have to be very centered and intentional about who you are and what you're going to do for you. And just think about that. Being you and being able to be natural if you have to. But you want to play with your makeup, you want to be okay, that's fine. But let's not conform to society. Let's not get into that, because then you're going to be going out. You're going to be just buying things in order to please and please and please. And you're going to be looking for validation. And if you don't get validation, then you're going to feel bad inside. If you don't get that, oh, you look beautiful, or, a man doesn't think that you're pretty enough. You're not in this world to be pretty. You're in this world to be you. And you're in this world to carry on your gifts and share it with the world. And you are beautiful. You are. God made everything God made is beautiful. So you are beautiful. And we can't go on one person's opinion or two people's opinion. I'm telling you, you can't. And I had a lot of experiences with that, with my relationships and with my marriage. So, yeah, it's like if the man doesn't want you, he has another girl, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not beautiful. It just means that maybe he doesn't appreciate your type of beauty, but that's okay. Let him go, ladies. Let him go. Be you. Work on you. My next point. That was a long one, and I hope that soaked in. Take care of your skin. Take care of your skin. And I think this has a lot to do with your health. We know that a face is the first thing we see. People, we see their faces. And so I remember being maybe in high school when I really started taking care of my skin and making sure I wash it and moisturize it. And you know what? I'm going to share this with you, ladies. I owe that all to Essence Magazine. And I'm sorry to say, my mom, of course she said go in there and shower and clean up. Yeah, but Essence Magazine was like that wonderful guide for me, because I would see, these skincare tips. And I will read that, like at 14 years old, I would ask my mom to get the magazine, and I would read the articles, and I think it kind of went over my head, some of that stuff, okay? But the whole caring for your skin and just these womanly topics that might have been a little mature, but it helped me appreciate who I was. And I think it instilled that confidence in me. And it helped me appreciate my beauty as a young Black girl. And so that's what this skincare do. But take care of your skin. I fell off here and there, but I try to really take care of my skin. I'm making sure I wash it, make sure it's moisturized. There has been a discrepancy in whether you should use soap on your skin, and because soap dries out your skin. But and I've been both ways, where I've done the cleanser, And the cleanser is not soap. You just, it kind of picks up the dirt. But I'm just a soap and water girl. And so I do make sure that I put the moisturizer on. And it's even sometimes put night cream on. So, that's very important. Also, the food that we eat. And if you are a very young sister, your food is going to be showing on your face. Your diet is going to be represented on your face. And we, you know what? I'm telling you, as you get older, you want that your skin not to be a lot of pimples and things like that. Now, if you have freckles, that's so beautiful. My daughter has freckles, and they're just beautiful. And so that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the whiteheads and the blemishes and things like that. So take care of your skin. Eat vegetables, water, and then also foods that have like some saturated fats, like the salmon, and when you cook with the olive oil, that adds that oil in your skin as well if you have dry skin. But pick a moisturizer that you feel that works for you. Use it every day. Be very consistent and drink that water. Drink that water, sis. You know what? Somebody once told me this, and they said, women, they know the appreciation of water. We don't do the pop thing all the time. Kids like pop. If you get a pop to a baby, it's addictive. And yeah, but we've been there, and we know what the nutritional value of pop, which is zero. And we know that it's not really good for our bodies. So I would say reduce the pop and drink water. Drink your water. Squeeze that lemon in there. Also, you know what I've done? I've taken a picture of water, purified water, and I've added fruit in there. So you could put grapes and blueberries and strawberries and pineapple. And it'll be even better if you use a one of those diffusers, like filters in the middle of the pitcher, where the fruit could be separate from the water, but it could still get the juices from the fruit that's in the water. And so I've used that, and I just love it. It's water, but it has fruit in it, So yeah, think about that. That might be something you want to try. But think about your health. Think about your skin, and keeping that healthy. Now, I want to move on to health, because I think as a young person, you might not be thinking about that. Of course not. You living your life. You going, hey, oh, go, okay. You going out with your friends. You on the social media, making your TikTok videos, and you just living your best life. But health this is serious. This is serious. I took my mom to the doctor once, and my mom's 96, so she's still rolling. But I had not really been in a waiting room and really to the doctor for a while. This wasn't during COVID time. This was like a regular appointment. There were so many sick people. They were coughing. They were, you could tell, debilitating in their legs, their arms. They just looked broken down. And, I was in awe. And the reason why I say that I was in awe is because since I really don't go to the doctor, I really don't have a need to go to see that many sick people in one place. It really gave me a sense of reality. It was a reality check that our health is very important. Right now, you don't think it is, young ladies. You don't. You fine. You eat them chips and flaming hot. You drink that Pepsi every day. You're not getting enough sleep. You staying up all night. You doing all that. You drinking a lot of over consuming of alcohol, or whatever drugs. Okay, you just feeding your body all this stuff. Eating out, eating out, eating out. That catches up with you, and I am serious. It catches up with you. And it catches up with you at the time where you really, really, really need your health. At this point in my life, I really need my health because I still want to travel. I still want to do so many things. And so I'm not ready to be in the rocket chair. I'm not. I am still vivacious. I still have a lot of life in me. I am ready to live life. And life at my age is just so much different. It's like independence. It's like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's a whole different level of living, and it's absolutely amazing. So just think if I can't dance anymore. I don't know. I can't dance. I can't move my arms. Okay, I can't. I'm have to have a lot of prescriptions and pills, and don't get me wrong, whatever we need to do to stay healthy, if we have high blood pressure or diabetes and those things. But if you don't have that, you should be thinking that I don't want that, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do now while I'm young so that I won't have that, and be intentional about, I'm not going to overconsume all the time. I'm not going to just eat fried food, fried food, fried foods. I'm going to eat some vegetables sometimes. It's just it amazes me that some of my students were saying they don't really eat vegetables. And my mom, we had a vegetable on our plate along with that, maybe some mashed potatoes and chicken. It was always something green on our plate. So if you have children, make sure they're eating vegetables, and you need to eat vegetables, whether it's a salad, whether it's spinach, whether it's greens. They have the salad that has the different types of leaves. The spinach and arugula and all of those. Hey, put that in a salad. And I've had salmon where you can just uh, put some salmon in the skillet with some lemon, and then take it and just lay it over that salad. That's a meal. And so think about that. Your health is important. My young sisters. Now, you call me old school if you want to. Call me old school. It's okay. But your health is important. Take it from me. Start right now. So, yeah. All right. Moving right along. My next point I want to share with you, because I love you so much and I know that you are a part of me, and we're all in this together. We're all in this to hold each other up. We're all in this just to help support each other. And so I'm doing that for you. I really want to reach out to you and help you in your life journey. Learn how to budget. Now, remember, I was your age too. And when I got my money, I want to go out and spend it on clothes so I can look fabulous. The shoes, the purse, and all of that. And that is really good. I mean, that's part of being young. But learn to budget your money so that you can save. You should be saving. You can actually be a millionaire if you're like 20 years old. And I hope I got some 20-year-olds on here. Oh, I hope I do. And if I don't, and if you know someone who's 20, please forward this podcast to them. Please do that. Save. I don't care if it's $20 every time you get paid. Even if it's just 20 that you never touch. You're working, put it at $50, $20. You will be surprised over the years how your money will build itself. And then not only that, make sure you budget your money. You should not be spending all your money and then waiting for you to getting your check. You shouldn't be waiting for that because you don't have any money. Budget your money. It is so easy to get wrapped up into spending. Believe me, I'm there sometimes. Sometimes I am still there. I'm still challenged with that. You have to have that self-discipline where you can say, I know who I am. And so this new outfit, I like it, but do I need this right now? Or maybe I'm going to figure this out and make sure I do my savings and make sure I tithe. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit too. Make sure I tithe and make sure I do whatever I need to do. And then I'm going to reward myself. Because, yeah, you should reward yourself. But all your money going to partying and buying all these things and especially if you buying the things looking for validation. There's that word again. Validation. Somebody's going to see me. Somebody's going to like me. I'm getting it for compliments. That's hard. We've been there. We've been there, young sister. So be conscious of budgeting because that's going to help you build your credit so that you can have good credit and so you can have that house and you can have that car and you won't be paying those high interest rates. Okay, you will be able to do more and you will be able to manage your life better when you're on a budget and you have self-discipline about your spending. So that is so important. So think about that. Did I have that knowledge about money when I was younger? Absolutely not. And so that's why I'm recommending it to you. Now, my daughters are very good with money. They're just good with money. It's amazing how they can save and they know what to do. And a lot of times they helping me. So think about that. Make sure you save something. And even if it's $25 every time you get paid. $50 every time you get paid, no matter what. Have it going electronically right from your check into your savings account. And don't take it out no matter what. Don't take it out no matter what. I will recommend that you listen to Dave Ramsey. He really talks a lot about building wealth, being debt free. You don't want to get into that if you can. And so if you're in your 20s, even your 30s, you have time to really shape and mold this whole financial literacy so that you can be smart with your money. And that as you get older, man, you're going to be sitting on top of it. Okay? And you're going to be able to do things to make your life financially easier. So think about that. Okay. I hope you're following me. I have more things to tell you. Okay, let me share this wisdom. All right. Don't be afraid to travel. I believe that sometimes we get into this very safe zone in our lives where we don't travel. Now, I have noticed that a lot of young women are starting to travel more. They're going to Vegas and they're going to cruises and things like that. But try to travel internationally. I believe that travel period gives you a different perspective. It helps you get out of your norm environment. Okay, you get to meet new people and learn about new cultures. And so don't knock that out. It's a little scary if you never traveled that much, if your family hasn't traveled. And so just to be able to get on a plane for the first time could be, that could be a little nerve-wracking. You could be a little anxiety, but it's okay. You'll get over that. So I advise you to travel. And before you say you can't afford it, you can. And I looked on YouTube before I took my first solo trip. Now, I had traveled previously. I've been Costa Rica and the Bahamas and Jamaica and Dominican Republic. And so I've been to those places. But I really had an opportunity to go Hawaii. And I went by myself. And so I'm telling you, you can do the same thing. You're younger. You could do the same thing. It was an amazing trip. I met people there. As a matter of fact, it was a woman. She was a doctor. I was like, you a doctor? You should have seen this sister. She was in shape. She was just talking and black sister. She was a doctor. She was there by herself. She said, oh yeah, I just wanted to come to Hawaii. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I just loved it. I loved it. And then, of course, I met some other people there. But I was so glad that I took that step. And now, internationally, I will have to really think about that as far as the safety issue. But Hawaii it was great. It was great. It was such an experience. I'm glad I went. It was almost like I had to prove to myself that I can do it, and I could prove to myself that yeah, I really want to go somewhere. And if my friends weren't available, do I just not go? Everybody's not going to be on that same path as you. So what do you do? What how do you come to terms with that? If they can't do it and you really want to do it, do you still go ahead and do it, or you say, "Okay, when are you available so that I can do?" Look, I have summers off. And so that was the time and I had the money. So yeah, let's go. I'm doing. So yeah, that was it. But yeah, think about traveling. Don't wait till you later in life, and then all of a sudden you discover that cruises are just the best thing since cheesecake. I mean, cruises are, and they're affordable. And so you could go on a cruise and just travel, and that would give you a chance to travel and see some other cultures too, like when they port, and then you could kind of get a little taste of these different areas. And but yeah, but cruises are very affordable. Place like Las Vegas, yeah, we know that's affordable. Florida, yeah, but I'm heading, I'm trying to plan to Africa. And so yeah, you can do that too. So yeah, don't limit yourself, don't limit your experiences. um Plan that trip, grab a friend if they're available, go on that trip, go somewhere new, somewhere different. Okay. My next point for you, my little sister, is don't lose or compromise your femininity. Don't lose and compromise your femininity. Now, this word femininity has been going around a lot. It's kind of like they're saying that women aren't as feminine as they used to be. And you know what? Come when you hear a man say that, I beg to differ, because I think their definition of femininity is more of something that's serving them. When you think about back in the day when women who were, I mean, they just was totally devoted into their husbands. They didn't work, they cooked, they cleaned. They probably didn't work outside the home, but they were subservient to their husbands, and that was perfect during that time. But now women are working and women have careers, and then there's children, and so there's so much more. If you are a young woman and you don't have those kind of responsibilities, I think also that it could be easy for you to sink into that masculinity role. And I'm not saying that that's strength, because we are strong. Women are strong. To carry a baby for 9 months, come on, that's strength there. And then to be able to endure so much, and we do, we endure, and we still come out shining. We do. But femininity, as far as nurturing, a nurturing spirit, I think that's so important. The ability to do things. I think that part of being feminine, we can multitask. I think for men, they're more one thing at a time, more focused. We could do over here, we could go over there, we could finish, do that. We can kind of be able to do many things, maybe doing one time. And we could kind of spread our thinking, and be strategic on things that we do. Okay. Also, our part of us are a little passive, and I don't mean passive as far as being weak, but I think for a woman, when you think of some women who are listeners, I think they are very powerful. They could sit back and listen, and they don't always have to say something. Now, one thing I can say, That sometimes when men say that women need to be quiet, I think in terms of sometimes we need to listen more, but not to mute our voice. Because you have a voice no matter what. And no one should be able to, no one should have the power to mute your voice. And so by listening, though, we should be able to listen. I'm going to listen. I'm going to sit back and listen and hear what's going on. And then I am going to voice how I feel. Femininity and how we carry ourselves. You could still be feminine and have a jogging suit on. It doesn't matter. Being feminine isn't to show your body. And I'm going to talk about leading with sex later. But it's not, feminine is not having a belly top on and having my breasts out and tight stuff. You know, that's sexy. That's not necessarily feminine. So feminine is like a mindset. Feminine is being, to me, being naturally who you are. Naturally. And naturally who you are is not like a man. We're not men. We're women. We're not men. And so God made us so much different. And we need to embrace who we are as women. Okay? So embrace your femininity. Embrace who you are as a woman. Not taking on masculine roles. I'm not trying to yell. I'm not fighting. Ladies, we don't fight over women. We don't fight over men. I pray that we have some young sisters listening right now. We don't fight over men. Men know who they want. They know who they want. If that man wants someone else, then you let him go and let him have that person. But you don't fight her. He's the one that makes the decision. So we're not fighting. We're not fighting, especially over a man. Because more than likely, if you are fighting another woman for this man, or you arguing because of this man, he has someone else on the side. And we hate to say that about our brothers and men in general, but a lot of times that is how they operate. And so you need to take that classy way, and you need to just say, hey, if you have this other person, then I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go. And you know what? It might involve heartbreak with that, but you'll get over it. Pray about it. Go through the grieving process. I had to do it, but then you had to let it go. You had to say, okay, if you chose this other person, it's nothing that I can do about it, you know, and I would just let it go. So ladies, we should not be fighting over anyone. There's no fighting. I'm not fighting. It doesn't mean you don't love the person. It just means I'm not getting into a physical confrontation with you over this man. And he just standing there looking back at both of y'all, about to call the third girl. That's usually how it is. So think about that. We do that a lot, ladies. And it's like a competition with us, where we're competing for these men. And we're not even linking with the sisterhood. You're beautiful, and then I'm beautiful. And why does it have to be a competition? You're beautiful in your own skin, how God created you. And then I'm beautiful in my own skin and how God created me. And so this man here, we both might like him. Think about that. But who is he going to choose? If he doesn't choose you, that's okay. He was not for you. If the man is not in your life and he's choosing someone, he is not for you. And you have to trust him. You have to trust God. That's where that spiritually grounded comes in. That if somebody walks away from you, they are not meant to be in your life. If you have a child by that person, you could just talk to them regularly about your baby and you could let them go. That's the way it is. So ladies, we are getting wrapped up into these things, and it's just not healthy. We have to take that classy way out. Be classy, be secure in who you are, And you do not, okay, sis, you can have them, walk away. I'm not gonna just call you a bitch. I'm not doing none of that. No, no, you're upset like I am about this, So that's a whole new different drama with women, and I just don't understand it. I just think that we need to be on the same page, and uh, we need to come together and lift each other up. Okay, next I have here, listen to your gut. And this as far as relationships, and this really came to mind when I was thinking about a man's psychological age and your psychological age. The people who, go from 1 to 10 right away, get upset really fast. Someone who can love unconditionally. Someone who has to have their way all the time. If you're experiencing that in your relationships, then you need to really look at that. And a lot of times, both men and women, we will kind of let you know who we are eventually. We're all on our best behavior when we meet someone. But then other things start trickling out, seeping out, okay? Because that's our true nature. And so those things that start seep out, we don't want to ignore them just because this person looks good and this person, I don't know, bought you things or whatever that may be. You will save yourself heartache in the long run if you listen to your gut and you really, 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 really observe the person that you met and that you're with. Can this person be trusted? Does this person lie? Do you suspect that this person is cheating? Because more than likely, if you suspect it, that means that he is. You don't have to rant and rave. Ladies, you don't have to say, did you call this girl? Were you doing this? He's going to say no. You know by the way he acts. You know by these things. So you need to really trust your intuition and trust your gut. That's why we're going back to spiritually grounded. And when you're spiritually grounded, you can pray, Lord, let me know what's going on. I don't know if it's just me and I'm being insecure, or is this guy really not invested in our relationship? Is he possessive? That he doesn't want you to go anywhere and he wants to monitor your friends and when you talk to them. Is all that playing a part? That's not healthy. That's not healthy. So listen to your gut. Be willing to, if it hurts. If it hurts, if it hurts, if it hurts, ladies, sometimes you just need to walk away because in the long run, it's going to hurt worse. I know of this situation of this young sister. She has a lot on the ball. She's been with this particular guy for like 5 years. Her goal in her mind is to get married. She wants to get married and she wants to have children. He has been very clear. He already has a child by another woman. He has made it very clear that he does not want any more children and that he doesn't want to be married. He has made that clear to her. Not only that, he is using her car, and she has to use an Uber. So she's using his car. He's using her car to go to work, but he can't come pick her up. Ladies, my young sisters, he told her that he doesn't want to get married and he doesn't want any more children. She wants children and wants to get married. Why is she still there? I know. Our heart. When we are invested, we love hard. Usually we be invested after we had that first sexual experience. We locked in. That's how it is. We locked in. So, man, I have sex with this man. He made me feel some kind of way and can't pull herself out. Can you imagine if she just waits around and it never happens? She can't really fault him. He was real with her. He was truthful. He said, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have children. So it's up to her to make that decision to say, this is not good for me. We're not going in the same direction. I cannot change his mind no matter how much I sleep with him. I'm not going to change his mind. He doesn't want me in that way. And so I have to just let it go. Young sisters, please take that as an example if you run into a situation like that. And especially if the man is honest. He was honest with her. What do? You have so many women, even women our age, my age, who's out there, they've been dating for like 10 years. And I guess maybe they say that they don't want to get married. But let's say if you say you do and he keeps putting it off, you don't want me in that way. You don't want to have a legal document that's saying that I'm officially your wife. If it's mutual, yeah. But if it's in a way like, man, no, I really want to be Mrs. So-and-so. I want to have your name. I want us to have that contract between me and you. And he is not doing that. It's time to go. It's time to go because you're wasting precious time. For what? So, my young sisters out there, young sisters, think about that. It's going to hurt. Be ready. I know I'm being pain. I'm going to be grieving. I'm going to be crying. I know I'm going to be that. But I got to take this stand. I got to take this stand. That's what I had to do. I had to take a stand. I just like, okay, you don't want me. I have to go. I can't sit around waiting for you. You already expressed that you didn't want me anymore. Sometimes you got to just find that strength and just move on. And my life I've been blessed ever since. Let's just say that. Blessings on top of blessings. And so if you make one step, I know you heard that before, God will make two. Okay, let's move on. I have here. Okay, again, we are dealing with relationships. And I just want to pass on the wisdom here. There are women out there, and it might be you, young sister, who feels like, okay, I could sleep with a guy. I like you like me. We go sleep together. No strings. I'm fulfilling my needs, and that's the way it's going to be. But naturally, we're not made like that. That's a man. That's masculinity, where they sleep around and they say, okay, they could sleep with someone and not be connected with them in any way. We're different. And aren't you glad we are? I am so glad I'm different. I'm so glad that I can't just sleep with somebody and just be like, oh, you just gave me what I want, and then I'm going to walk away and not even think nothing else of you. No. Think about this, ladies. We are not cut like that. Whether you try to say you are or not, once you come intimate with someone, you have that intimacy, Lord. You have that intimacy. What I'm talking about, Lord. You have the intimacy. I don't know why I said that. Oh, that's scary. You do have that intimacy. So that man is injecting part of him in you. And that is something with that. He is injected part of himself in you. So are you walking around with all these men spirit that is in you? And I know a lot of times we don't think of it like that, but we have to be very careful on who handles us. Where our bodies are precious. Our bodies are this temple. And so are we just letting anyone in? Are they just coming in and out, in and out, in and out? What's going on? So my young sisters, be very mindful of that. And that's why, you really want to wait till you're married. You really want to, but I didn't. Okay, so I'm spreading this message to you, but I didn't. So I end up the very person that I had my first sexual experience with is that I'm married. So yeah, It's really tough. But I think that men, there you go again. They say they want one thing, but then they say another. You meet him, y'all get along, and it starts to be, excuse me, it starts to be, a little intimacy, and you feel that he's gelling with you. Young sisters, listen to this. You feel that he likes you. It just seems like everything clicks. You laughing, you talking, and you got this energy with both of you. And so even though this is the first date or the second date, it's just like it's something there. You feel it. You like him. You don't know enough about him, but you like him. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You will sleep with him. And then that very next day, he's not going to call you. That very next day, he's not going to call you. And that's going to break your heart because you're going to think, oh, I thought everything was okay. But the very fact you probably slept with him the first time or too fast, he has, in a way, judged you on that. But you didn't know because you thought it was mutual. I'm going to stop right there, ladies. I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to do part 2 with you. And we're going to be part 2. So I'm asking you to share this video with someone you love. And I am going to say a blessing to you. And I'm going to be off into the part 2. Okay? Please send me your thoughts and comments. Please send them. I would love to hear from you. And I'm going to say a prayer for you. You are blessed, prosperous, redeemed, forgiven, talented, motivated, valuable, free, determined, equipped, empowered, anointed, accepted, and approved. You're not average, sis, and you're not mediocre. You are a child of the Most High God, and you will have everything that you were supposed to get and everything God meant for you to be. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. I pray that for you, sis. I do, and I bless you. And I'm going to have part 2 coming up. So you stay tuned. Please share this video with a young sister. I want to share this wisdom with them so they won't walk down the path that I walked down. I want it to be better for them. And so thank you so much. And I will be talking to you next time. Bye-bye.